Hello, welcome to Facebook Live with CJ Card Creations. My name is Christy Hillock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I am so grateful that you are watching me, whether you find me live or if you catch the replay. I just very much appreciate it. I have some fun new products and ideas to share with you. So I'm looking forward to today's class. I have just a few things to tell you. My In Color Club is a really unique take on the In Color Club um, concept. So it's a way to get all of the new In Color products without breaking the bank and really without having to wait for the entire club to finish to get enough things to do what you want to do. So if you're not familiar, Stampin' Up! Every year, hey mom, releases 5 new colors that they call the In colors, and we have those colors for 2 years. And so this year's are really earthy and rich and pretty. So if you would like to see details about what that In Color Club is like, there's a link in the description of this video. Basically, you get a certain amount of product each month. It lasts for 4 months, and you also get 3 project kits in a Facebook group, and you'll be able to see those videos whenever you want to make the projects. So it's a really fun thing to do in addition to just getting the product over a certain period of time. I am also doing a core color camp. So Stampin' Up! This year, in addition to the In colors, released several new and several returning colors to give us a refresh so that all of our colors are still on trend and work together really well. And to take advantage of that, I have teamed up with 2 of my friends, and we are bringing you a stamp camp at the 5th, 6th, and 7th of June. And what you'll do is receive project kits for 9 projects from us. You'll have videos to refer back to, and we will be doing the demonstrations live on those evenings. So you can learn some new techniques and folds and get to play with new product. So make sure you check that out. And then I have a class in person here in Salt Lake on the 22nd of May, which is a Monday night. So if you are local, I would love for you to join me at that. And I think that's really all that I needed to tell you. There is a new Paper Pumpkin subscription period right now, and it is called, the new one is called Welcome In, like INN. So the focus is hospitality, and it coordinates with the Countryside Inn Suite collection that's in the new annual catalog. And this set, or this Paper Pumpkin also has an add-on of 3 dies. So it'll cut out a vase, a flower, and some foliage. So it looks really cute, really fun. And I think that the colors that are in this Paper Pumpkin will complement that really beautiful blue designer series paper really nicely. So that is something you are not going to want to miss. And that is it. So thank you again for being here. If you would like to receive my emails with all of the information that I just shared, as well as a free PDF for today's project, make sure that you are subscribed to my, I don't even know what you call that, my email list. There we go. All right, so today I am featuring the Earthen Textures bundle. This bundle is unique for Stampin' Up! Because you can also get it in Spanish, which they haven't done before, so I think that's exciting. Also, I love the font. The sentiments are really, really useful. Like, your thoughtfulness is much appreciated, with gratitude. And then today we're going to use the "You are proof there is good in the world." The vases are beautiful, the foliage, and then when you pull out the dies, you'll see that you get different pieces to cut out those vases. This little handle just makes that vase that much more dimensional. I haven't actually cut this die yet, so I'm not totally sure what it does, but I am really looking forward to having time to do that. And then we're going to use these two palms today. So I think we can get started. I used the Earthen Elegance, I think, is the designer series paper that I used. And it is mostly browns, which I don't normally do. But I felt like for this bundle, that was really just a good fit. So I'm trying to find the paper so I can show you what the whole stack looks like. I did a paper share, and so I just have half sheets left of everything. So that's why they're 6 by 12 instead of 12 by 12. But they do come in that 12 by 12, so you can see all of these really textured designs. And then on the back, it's actually, of course, I lean towards this side, but blues and pretty peacock. And so I think this paper is really awesome. So we are going to use this particular pattern. And I had gotten a card a while ago from a customer that I have had sitting on my desk waiting for me to use it because I loved what she did. And I may have shared this a while ago, but this, she just used her scoring tool and embossed lines, which I thought was gorgeous and brilliant. So we are doing that today. And then what I did, since I did have that paper share cut, so everything was 6 by 12, I cut 4 inches from the long side. And now I'm going to just rotate it and cut, let's see, I gotta think really hard here. Okay, so I want to cut this down from 6 down to 5 1/4. And what that does is gives me this 3/4 inch strip that I can use to decorate the inside of my card and just carry that design all the way through the project, which I always like to do. And then this is what we are actually creating today. So you can see I did change up Janet's design somewhat, but there are those embossed lines, and then you get to really see that nice designer series paper. This kind of layout I really like for really busy patterns of designer series paper because it does just help you tone it down just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is bring in my scoring tool, my scoring board. And this piece is, I want to say 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. So, and again, if you subscribe to my emails, you will get the PDF with all of the measurements included for you. So I always prefer to use the small end of the stylus on this tool, just because I get a little more control and precision that way. So I am going to, let's see, pretty sure that I did 1/8 inch score lines. So we'll go at 3 1/8 and 3. And then I'm going to come over to the other side and do 1/8 and 1/4. And now I can rotate that 90 degrees and just do the same thing. So 4 3/8 and 4 1/4. And then again with the 1/8 and 1/4. So the reason that I prefer the scoreboard to the paper trimmer is just that you don't have to move things around so much in order to get all of those different score lines done. Okay, so now that we have that done, we need to do our stamping. And let's see, I'm going to use this stamp for the foliage that I stamped. And then the "You are proof there's good in the world." I'm just going to line up with the grid lines on my block here. Okay. And all of my stamping will be in Pretty Peacock today, which is one of our returning colors. And everybody has been super excited that it is back. So that's really fun. Now, I also just want to tone down the mess on my desk quickly. So we're going to go ahead and put a few of the things together. One thing that I did notice with this designer series paper, to me, this looks like paint drops. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, the directionality is considered when I'm adhering everything. So I'm just going to use a little bit of liquid glue here. And I'll put this on our inside panel. And you know, I always do a basic white panel inside my projects just because I think it gives it a little more polished of a look. Plus, it also allows your recipient to read what you write a little more easily. So I am using a pecan pie card base, and I am sure that you will hear lots of people calling this pecan pie. And let me just tell you, that is not how we say it where I'm from. But I'm sure that it's a, I mean, I know it's a very common pronunciation, but I just will always be a pecan girl. So I thought it was fun that they named a new color after pecans. So my parents have beautiful pecan trees, so it's one of my favorites. Okay, there is that. Now we also need some adhesive on our designer series paper. And again, making sure that I've got the droplets going the same direction inside and out. And then we'll get that there. And now I have a little more space to do my stamping. So this is going to sit just like that. And then what I did was brought in my 2 die cuts just to help me with placement a little bit. So I do think that that stamp will fit right there still. And I also now kind of know where I want my palm stamp to go. I'm just going to make sure I've got that inked up nicely. And then I want it to sit about right here and not on, I really don't want to stamp on my designer series paper. So we'll go just like that. And it's a really nice brown. It isn't so dark as like the early espresso or the soft suede was. And I just think that it's going to be really useful, especially come fall. But even now, I think it's really pretty. Okay, so there is that. There is a little bit of overlap there, but I think that's just fine. Got that stamped pretty straight. And we can finish with our adhering. So you could use either side of this basic white panel. I think I actually did reverse from the first card. So you can see the bumps come up on this one and here they go down. So it's totally just what you like, how it looks, and if you're paying enough attention, which I apparently wasn't. So there we go. Now, one thing that I noticed about this die cut, and I'm going to have to play with it some more, but you can see that this is bound together, but you could easily snip that. So I think you could do some really cool 3D things with this, but oh, you can't see me. I am just going to fold on the score line in each of the petals or leaves, just to give this a little bit of dimension without making it stick off the card too much to stick in an envelope. So get that all done. And if this bundle is something that you think you need to have, which I certainly think you need to have it, because I think even just these palm die cuts, you're going to want to put on so many different things. So I would head over to order those. Head over to order. Is that what I said? I would certainly love it if you ordered them in my online store. That really helps me. And it makes me happy when I get emails that I've received a new order. So if you have any questions about anything as far as what to order, how to order, anything like that, I'm always happy to help as well. All right, so I'm going to call that good. And now this one is a little bit smaller. So it's a little bit more difficult to get adhesive on without making a big mess. But I kind of just went right down the center here and called it good. You could also do this with glue dots. This would be a great candidate for using an adhesive sheet if you did want it to adhere to the card completely. And so we'll just go just like that. And you'll notice that as far as how I've placed everything, I did it so that it would all meet kind of at the same spot. And the reason for that is that I am going to use this die cut to make sort of a pot. So I looked at that and thought, well, you know, that's nice, but I don't like that you can see through it. So what I decided to do instead is bring in another scrap of pecan pie, and I'm just going to, let's see, the first time I traced around it and then cut, but I feel like I could probably just glue and cut in one go. So we'll just do a little bit of adhesive on here. Again, this would be another great candidate for those adhesive sheets, but that requires planning. And when I'm creating, I don't always know what direction I'm headed with things. So, you know. All right, so we'll get this on here. And then pick that up. And I am just going to line it up with the very bottom edge of this scrap so that I don't have to cut quite so much. Get that adhered. All right, now I need some paper snips. So if you guys follow me regularly, you know that I have two little kids, and it is May and life has been very, very busy with all of the school activities and sports and everything going on. Oh, sorry, let me get back in the screen. So I'm just fussy cutting this out now. And then comes summer, and oh my goodness, we have lots of days where we won't have scheduled things going on. And then we have lots of summer camps and sports and all the things. And so I have decided that I am not going to be doing Facebook Lives over the summer because I just don't see how I fit in all of the things that go into bringing these videos to you. So hopefully I will still be able to do them now and then, but it just won't be any kind of regular schedule like I have done for the last few years. So hopefully you guys can understand and bear with me, and I'm still available for any kind of questions, help, anything like that. But I'm also not going to be doing my class to go kits for a while. I've got the In Color camp that starts this weekend, or not camp, club, the In Color club that starts this weekend and runs through August. And then I've got the Core Color stamp camp that is in June that I was talking about. And I think that that is going to be enough to keep me busy. So I will just be popping on here and there otherwise. All right, so now you can see that we have our cute little pot that has this nice detail, but also is solid. And I just feel like that works better for what we are doing here. So I am going to trim off the bottom bits of those stems so that they don't hang out below our pot. And then I want to grab a couple of dimensionals and I'm just going to pop those. Let's see, gotta find the right ones. I've got so many like partially used sheets over here. I am going to do this so that they are across the very bottom edge there, because I don't want it to stand up a full dimensional level above the top layer of this card. So I'm gonna just place it so that the dimensionals go right there on the designer series paper. And there we go. And I used the minis for this. You could also use like the edge pieces of the large dimensionals. And we'll stick that there. And there you go. So you do have all of this white space. And I thought, well, you know, we should not leave all that space empty. So I brought in our new opaque ovals and we will use the pecan pie ones. There's also lemon lolly, bubble bath, and azure afternoon. So anytime I get a new pack of embellishments, I always write the colors on the back because, I mean, I feel like it could be lots of different things, and it's just easier for me to know exactly what's there than to dig out my catalog and find what they say. So just a little organizational tip for you in case you have ever had that problem. So these come in 2 different sizes and they're just so cute. I think you could do something really cute with these with the Easter Bunny stamp set that carried over, because they do kind of look like Easter eggs to me, especially since they're in these bright, happy colors. And we'll go just like that. And there it is. All right, so you can see, oh my goodness, everything is moving around. Our 2, the one we made today and the original. So yeah, the embellishments, especially if you don't clear out retired embellishments, it can be really hard to know what colors something has. And certainly you can always mix and match anyway, so it's not mandatory by any means, but it is just nice. It makes it a little bit easier. All right, so there we go. Well, thank you for joining me, and I appreciate the likes and the shares. It does help me with the Facebook algorithm. I will be back next week, and I want to say that that will again be an afternoon live just because of all the things with baseball on Thursdays. But other than that, that is all I have. Make sure that you are subscribed to my email list so you get the free PDF next Monday when my email comes out. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I hope that you enjoyed today's project with the Earthen Textures bundle. Take care. Bye.